Astrological, and this is your energetic reading for May 11th. And today, there's just a beautiful ease and energy today. I'm not saying that for everybody that you're going to experience an ease. There's not going to be some of you that are pulling yourself out of lower vibrations, because there are. But I believe that for most of you, the energy, if you're here's what I would focus on. If some of you are in a lower energy, maybe Mars and Saturn conjunct is broadening your perspectives, and some of you may feel like you're not ready to broaden quite as much as they're hoping that you would, or maybe the awakening that's happening, maybe the value that you're placing on your well-being is revealing the fact that maybe there are areas in your love life that need to be fine-tuned. Maybe you lose your power in relationships, significant bonds, maybe with authority figures. Maybe there's something that you need to realign and reassess there. I believe that for some of you, maybe the fact that, during this quiet period, our thoughts regressing back to the past is bringing forth some very significant questions. Something that you need to do a little research behind the scenes for some of you. For some of you, there's revelations about karmic journeys that you've been on, that you really feel like you've learned from and you want to release yourself on. And then for some of you, there's that desire for all of your needs to be met, your wants and your needs. Some of these are very superficial needs. Some of these are on levels of, there's a desire at this point, I think, for some of you to create stability and longevity. And when we're talking about that, for some of us that's facing some of these delicate issues, these very significant delicate issues that mentally stand in our way of empowering ourselves. And so we're having an ease in energy. I believe what it's doing is it's dialing everything back, and it's not making it so volatile. I think for some of you, you're experiencing a little bit of this trine energy, because what you're trying to do is find the reason and the logic. You're trying to apply that to what you need and you want. Whenever we get very heart-based, whenever we have Taurian energy like this, Taurian energy is very sensitive on all levels. And so this is bringing up a lot of heart-based stuff. It's kind of bubbling up stuff, deficiencies in some of these areas. And so it's time to be kind to your soul. It's time to forgive the fact that even if you have revelations that there was some weakness that you yourself wish that you had not aligned with, I want you to understand that the point that we're at in our life is inspiring you to move it away from these areas in our life where we're deficient. We're starting to realize that we deserve exactly what we want, both tangibly and intangibly, in our hearts, in our minds, in our bodies, in our health. Like, we deserve this outcome, this said outcome that you are fixating on. And this is a very fixating energy. For some of you, this is being there's almost like a feeling of opposition, obsession. You can't let go of something because there was a lot of value placed with this. It's really hard to say that, okay, if I'm diabetic and I were to adhere to a diet that my provider is putting me on, then what that means is I have to cut out sugar, and sugar makes me feel good. And for empaths, they actually crave sugar because it releases an endorphin in our brain in order for us to feel pleasure. It's a pleasurable experience for you. And as you're absorbing so much negative energy, the way that you know that you're absorbing too much negative energy is there's a need for more sugar, lots of starch, lots of things that give you that spike, in an artificial way. So for some of us, it's just learning how to see what we can't see. That's very Neptunian. It's deep. That's where the unconscious world starts to meet conscious awareness. And with Jupiter going direct, I believe that for some of us, there is the revelation, but there's the need for, I think right now we need Mercury to go direct to apply the reason and the logic to what Jupiter is trying to inspire you to do. So there's this time period where I think, again, it feels very limbo-ish to me. Like I feel like we're kind of not really feeling like making a whole lot of changes, but there's an awakening that we need to, and there's a revelation. These are the areas that I'm moving away from. But again, doing it is a whole different part of our lives. And so what I really want you to understand is that you are in a harmonious flow of energy. It's very easy to attach to the amount of harmonious flows of energy that we have, because we have significant amounts of very easy trine, complacent energy. I still believe that, being tired is probably, just drained, just mentally overwhelmed is possible in this very, very sensitive energy. I love, I know that for me, what gets me out of the trine, the difficulty of the trine, and I believe that trine can be a low vibration as well, because sometimes it just makes me want to just be sitting around and just stuffing my face with all the things I love most than anything in the world, because it's very decadent energy. And, staying home and not being active. But if you want to attach to the highest form of this beautiful trine earth energy that we have going on, lots of, stimulating energy, if you just go out into some nature, there is a buzz you get. It's so crazy. You don't even have to be a power, like I went hiking, but you don't have to go hiking. You could just go sit by a beautiful lake or a river, or go, like sometimes there's this place called Cape Horn here in Washington, where it's this lookout point and you can pull off. And sometimes I would sit in my car, like if I just needed some time to just get some mental clarity, my environment overstimulated me, I would go sit in my car, put on like these really beautiful like rain, thunderstorms, and just watch the gorge and just look at its beauty. And I'm readjusted. So the trine can be very powerfully stimulating if you allow it to cleanse you a little bit. I think what we need is a little bit of cleansing energy. There's been a lot revealed, and sometimes I feel like it's a lot of dark energy stirring in the light energy. It's kind of like we're in the gray, and it's not dark, it's not light, but it's gray. And I believe this is important because, again, balance is the key. It doesn't hurt if you are pigging out right now, because you know what? There's a need for all this, this decadent food with all this Taurian energy, or a drink, or there's a need to, go think about the finer things in life. But you know what? You have to balance it with, if I just bought that, I got to work hard to pay for that. Or I've got to make a budget because I want that. Or, what if I just went and ate something I should not have? Okay, I'm going to go work out. I think it's very important to have that mindset. Nature is really going to connect you with some powerful energy. And this, right now, the Sun, Mercury, and Venus are all conjunct. And so what's very important about that you understand is that is where we're assessing what we value and what we want and what we don't want in our lives. And it's training over to Jupiter, pulling that lever to say, I'm going to bring a little bit of forward energy. Still, there's a pull to the past, because we also have those same energy sources being stimulated by Pluto in retrograde. So there's still, you're not completely empowered in this energy enough to make the big changes that I think you need to make. But I think what it also says is that what you're more doing in this energy is finding the way to balance these two energies. We've got this Jupiter forward movement in Virgo, which is an earth-based energy, and then we have this Pluto, which is still in retrograde in Capricorn in an earth energy. And then, at the top of that, we have the Sun, Mercury, and we have Venus all conjunct. So to me, it's just very important for you to stabilize your energy and just be very simplistic with your thoughts. If they start to get away with you, if Jupiter starts to expand some sort of imbalance in any of these areas, then you dial it back and you submit a little to the energy, and you just, here's what I do. An energy like that, where trine energy can make it very easy for you to trine and become out of control, because there's nothing blocking it, there's nothing stopping it, there's no hesitation. Serial killers often have a significant trine, or they have some sort of trine energy, or maybe they have a very blessed chart. There's not a lot of opposition in their chart to teach them their lesson, their karmic journey. And so what they end up doing is becoming malefic because they have such a benefic natal chart. So what's really important is the fact that we embrace these oppositions, and because they're guiding us away from what we don't want. Sometimes that trine can make you go out of balance. And so this is what I do when I'm driving down the road, which is when my thoughts seem to run away with me the worst. What I do is I do not allow any stimulation from any sort of music. Music can be highly toxic to you. If you're heartbroken, or if you're thinking about people from the past that you can no longer have, turn off music. It can make you have emotions that aren't really there. And just start to become very present, which sometimes this is what I do. I'm like, that's a green tree. Yeah, that's a fir tree. That's a conifer. Oh my gosh, that's a cloud, kind of looks like a baby bird or a little teddy bear. Or I know it sounds really ridiculous, but it will immediately pull you out of whatever destructive thought that you are having that is no longer serving progressive energy. And it does release you from that pull, that imbalance, that immediate desire to go down memory lane and embellish some sort of situation, either high or low, which will make you yearn for something that you shouldn't be yearning for. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again